Hi babes, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, my name is Ofente and I am your book bae. Your book bae is in the building, period. So I hope you guys are well. I am feeling energized today. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling happy, and I just wanna, just thought I would come on here and just, have a chat with you guys. I'm so excited because I am reviewing Nyathi's An Angel's Demise. So it's been a while since I read this book, so this will definitely be a short review. Not necessarily sure if there will be spoilers, so for those of you who just hate the spoiler vibe, can't guarantee that there won't be spoilers. And I always give this disclaimer that, if you don't like spoilers, I would prefer that you watch my reviews with that in mind, or also just maybe watch the reviews after you've read the book, just to find out what you thought, if your thoughts about the book match with my thoughts about the book. So just a little bit about Nyathi. I love her. I love her writing. I've read her book, Family Affair. I've read The Gold Diggers as well. And this is the third book of hers that I've read, but I think she's written about 5 books. She is a Zimbabwean author, and actually attended one of her book launches for A Family Affair. I think it was 2021, because I might have still been working as a journalist that time. But yes, so I love Sue and her writing. My bad. Yeah, so that's just a little bit of an overview. So in terms of the book, it's set in Zimbabwe and South Africa and Russia at some stage. It follows different protagonists. It's basically centered around this family, and they have a farm called Bell Acres, which was named after one of the, women in the family, the matriarch. It's got everything. It's got love, it's got action, it's got pain, it's got what else? Strife, it's got abuse, it's got power dynamics, gender, education versus non-education, what do you do with what you have and how do you overcome, so it's basically really a story about overcoming. When it came to the ending of the book, I'm finding that the books that I'm reading right now, I don't necessarily like how they end. I often feel underwhelmed, I often feel upset. I just finished reading Ayobami Adebayo's book called, what is it called now? It's right here somewhere. A Spell of Good Things, and I was so underwhelmed at the ending. So I think if I think correctly, I felt the same way about Nyathi's book. So in terms of what I liked about the book, I liked the storyline, I liked the different protagonists. It's an omniscient writer, and from my perspective, I always love an omniscient style of writing, because just having that intimacy and understanding what the characters are thinking and feeling is so important to me, because I think it contextualizes a lot of things in the book. It makes you and helps you understand more about what's going on in the book. In terms of the diction and the tone, I think it's different depending on who you're talking to, but the writing is quite rich for people who have read Nyathi's books. It's understandable, but it's still she speaks to you there's a certain level of intellect that she would just assume that you have, and then it's very rich with historical context, and that is something. So if you are a historian, definitely this book is something that the imaginings of this is something that somebody genuinely could have gone through at that time frame in Zimbabwe at that time, What I did not like about the book. Sometimes because I'm not necessarily a fan of historical writing, that was a little bit intense for me. I don't know. I love fiction, but sometimes I feel like you can overdo that thing of just contextualizing everything. Maybe that's just my bias, because I don't really like that overly historical contextualization of things. Which is funny, because I was a history major in first year of my degree, but it just didn't catch. I don't know. And then in terms of, but it's important for the story, so sometimes I understand that, but I think it was overdone at some stages. What else didn't I like about the book? It took me a while to get into the book, so I started reading the book. Like I say, I'm a fan of Sue, and that took me a while to kind of get in, but it is what it is. Eventually, I was staying up very late to make sure that I'm on par with what's going on in this book. So it was a great read at the end of the day. And then what did I like about the book? Yeah, what else did I like? the characters. I think the characters were fully fleshed people. I think also a story of like this idea of like the haves and the have-nots, right? So we hear from the haves and we hear from the have-nots, and both are given, like respect is given to both sides. In fact, sometimes you actually hear more from like, I guess, the have-nots and their stories, what they're going through on the farm as the farm hands, the idea of slavery, the idea of just like racism and like the latent racism and class relations. You hear that, you get to hear like how they actually experience it and some of the things that have driven them to where they ended up. Yes? No, I'm filming.
Perfect. Please do me a favor.
Ciao. Sorry about that, child. You know, my brother just interrupted me. I even lost my train of thought. I think I was talking about what I liked about the book. Yeah, so we just got like a lot of color and context into what it meant to be, you know, a farmhand. And I don't know if you can hear them arguing in the background. They are so annoying. This is a book for somebody who loves African literature, who loves historical writing. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible because I know you guys don't like watching long things. Because one thing about me, I can talk, okay? We've covered what I liked and what I didn't like. We've covered the general writing style. Try to avoid synopsises, you know, because of spoilers. And then what else is there? Okay, my rating for the book. I think, what would I rate the book? I need to actually think. I would rate the book 6.5 out of 10. And maybe I'm being unfair to Sue, but I'm sorry about the audio at the back because people are having conversations in the corridor and it's just, it is what it is. I'm living in a full house, you know what I mean?